Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. You're now rocking with Sensei Rip. We talking DMX Exodus album. This is the official album review. We got my boy GemzTv in the building. What's going on, people? How you
Chilling,
feeling, brother? How you feeling?
doing well, doing well.
Listen, man, bittersweet, right? We got a DMX album this weekend. Of course, DMX is not here with us. Unfortunately, we still don't know what happened, but at least we get an album to pretty much celebrate his life, his legacy, named after his youngest son, Exodus. What was your thoughts initially when you heard that a DMX album was actually coming out?
Um, so we talking about before death or after death?
Before death, actually. When
So yeah, before
expecting a DMX album?
before death, I was like, oh, that shit gonna be crazy. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, about time. You feel me? Then I said, you saw the verses, we saw the interviews, we saw everything leading up to it. It was like, oh, he definitely got something coming. You feel me? He was more present. He was out and about. He was touching the people, interacting with other artists and interacting with other, media personalities, especially when he did the drink champs. I thought that was fly.
Yeah.
But you saw him when I seen him, it's like he had the weight, he had the weight picked up. He looked really healthy. Like he looked bigger than I've ever seen DMX, especially on camera. So I was like, yo, you know, dope shit. You feel me? Like it is what it is,
Yeah, I
Dog,
mean,
ready to come back. You feel
initially
me?
seeing them, like you said, seeing them on Drink Champs, it felt good to see, with the weight. For me, it felt like he was definitely healthy. To sit there and say that, I was checking for an X album. I mean, really, we had moved on. We in a different time and era, but I think, watching the interview, he actually said, after verses, in the recent interview with Swizz Beats, he pretty much said that X just felt like, that was the least he owed his fans, giving them new music.
Mhm.
Snoop put out music all the time. So, Snoop can easily say, I got this, but X, we all living in the past. So he just wanted to experiment and see exactly what a DMX album would sound like.
Right.
So when he revealed it on Drink Champs, I was like, all right, let's see. It was the features for me. Everyone, they were excited for the Pop Smoke feature when he announced that. Of course,
Right.
Griselda. Like I said, it just felt good to see X out there, man. Just giving himself to newer acts, newer generations. Because again, we hadn't seen X move like that before in a
Right.
while earlier this year. So but we finally get the album. Let's talk about it, man. Your first review. What are your thoughts? I mean, how do you feel
Um.
about the opening track? That's my dog with the locks and Swiss Beats, man.
Um.
What are your thoughts on that?
I like it. I simply just I like it. It's one of my favorites because it's like it's a perfect album opener. It's a perfect, you know, door kicker. Like
Right, right.
and it got the locks on it. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
It, which is which is which is
versus, man.
classic, right? Which is classic. Like
I mean,
that's
everybody
what you
showed up.
expect.
Right, everyone
You know what
showed
I'm saying?
up.
It's true respect. It was just real dope. I think what Swiss and A-Rad produced it.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, A-Rad Music.
Yeah,
Shout out to
and,
them. They
yeah,
showed up with that, man. I think it was a great song to open up with the project. Again, I'm hearing a lot of people upset, with the production. And at the end of the day,
he always worked with Swiss. Like,
right. But the production to me wasn't bad with this album. I don't think it
look,
was bad at all. But with the first track coming out, I don't know the time period in which the vocals were laid, because I know the Locks did a song with X some months back, and I like that verse as well. So for me, it was
it
a it
was
was
on
a
Locks
perfect.
album. What the fuck was
Exactly,
that song? I
exactly.
can't
Right,
remember
right.
the song. You feel me?
But he was in that video. He was kind of big for real, and
Yeah,
like I said, to me it was a great opener.
yeah. He
Intro
was
to
like
the album.
he was about to start a wrestling career on the side. Like, my man was it's getting thick up
Listen,
there. You feel me?
the chemistry that the Locks and DMX has always had over all the albums, over the years, man, is just
Yeah.
impeccable. Um,
Well, they his young
just
boys.
that's what I mean. Just that
You know what
sound, you
I'm
don't get that no more today. I mean,
saying?
everyone stepped up. You know what I mean? Styles, Chic. I mean, and we all know Jada. He flawless with the verses. I mean, goddamn, he gonna stay young forever on the mic. He really is
Mm.
top five. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said, to me, it was just a perfect song to start the album off with. I really have to say that. Again, let's move on to Bath Salts, a song that.
Hold on. Give me a minute.
What's wrong?
You know, time it up. Time it up for me.
What you got? Some thoughts? What's going on?
I got to grab my food, man.
Oh, this
fat,
man.
fat boy style. Give me a second.
Oh man, this man. Fat boy style on the review. But yes, like I said, initially the first track, it felt good to hear the Locks and X together. Like I said, we can't capture the yesteryears of how it used to sound back in the day. We'll never get that time again, but for this album, it really was decent. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's in the room with me. Like I said, for me, it was a bittersweet thing this weekend having an X album out of respect to the dog. But I wish he was here right now. You know what I mean? I wish he was here to be able to enjoy the release, the rollout for everybody. You know what I mean? But this is what we get. Some of these songs, apparently they all were approved, so it wasn't like they waited till after death. I'm seeing a lot of people on social media react as if like this album was put together because he passed away. But in reality, that's not the case. Let's see, my man finally got his food. You back now, man. You done paid the Uber driver, man. You good?
Yeah.
But yeah, just to clear up some uncertainty about the album around, DMX's album Exodus. Like I said, it was all approved according to Swish. Y'all have to check out the recent interviews that shout out to Low Key T. Oh man, we got a legend in the building here. The legend, the infamous Low Key T for life in the building. Shout out to the brother. But yeah, like I said, a lot of these songs were already approved. Everything was recorded at Snoop Dogg's studio after the verses. So, like I said, man, I love the first joint. But let's get into Bath Salts, a song with Nas and Jay-Z that originally was on Nas's Life is Good album. And if I'm not mistaken, like you said, there wasn't another version with Jadakiss, correct?
Yeah.
Now, what were your thoughts when you heard another Nas Jay-Z verse together? I mean, at this point, should they just do an album?
They should definitely do a project. But I don't want to see them do a project where they trade verses across whatever time zone they in. They need to be in the studio in the booth locked in. With some of the illest producers. You need to see something that Jay's never worked with before and something that Nas has never worked with before.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you'll love to hear Jay. We like to hear Jay over the Alchemist beats. From a Jay Electronica album, which I think he was Jay Electronica, but we're gonna leave that in the past because I ain't even really like that too tough. But I just listened for Jay-Z at that point. But to see Nas work with more Tim and more the Swiss, more of that vibe, because I like when they that's crazy, but
no, but Swiss said in the interview that X and Jay-Z never really got to hang with each other because there were a lot of tension back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, recently in the shop with LeBron, I don't know if everyone watched it, but there's clips going out already going viral talking about, Jay-Z pretty much speaking on how legendary X was, and at time, and he never looked at X like, that was the villain. But for some reason, Jay always talked about DMX's competitive nature. You know what I mean? He was just very competitive. And the one thing I respect about X is he was just a one-man band. You know what I mean? Like, even in the Drink Champs, he told you, he did his own ad-libs. He don't do a lot of features. And shout out to my man, Frankie Diamonds. A lot of folks were like, they weren't used to X having a lot of features, man. He has a certain type of weight to his music and his catalog. But with Bath Salts, it was just bittersweet because, again, I would have loved to see them all perform that song together. We talked in 2021. And shout out to Swizz Beats. They, produced it, Prime Maximus. It was good. It was decent. You know what I mean? I liked it, And I was just thinking to myself, man, how many verses have we gotten with Nas and Jay-Z at this point? Enough for us to say, you know what? Let's just get an album and get this over with between them two, right?
Yeah. I mean, even still, like, I believe now that since, they got past their situation, that they kind of just, it's just natural now. It's like a natural chemistry there.
No, they selling it. They selling it for the money because the fans, it's like people buy into it every time. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, X, everyone gets mentioned. And that's the thing with X, is like people sometimes forget his run, and you can't.
Yeah.
It was a moment where Jay couldn't fuck with it, and he tell you,
Yeah,
X was
he
the type.
definitely, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? X was the type person that, like I said, go out on stage by himself and shut everything down. The people loved him.
Yeah.
Even when the man did prayer and cry, like people were there crying with this
Yeah.
man, like they felt him for real.
He like what Jay said on the shop. He was like, he would open come out there, and everybody just go crazy. And he was like, yo, it was just nuts. He was like, wow. And then he like, yo, then he do another type of set, and then once the guys go crazy, then he do something else, and then the take the shirt off, the ladies go crazy, and then he said at the end he pray with you, and he pray for you, and then everybody start crying. He like, man, it
Shit
was
you ain't
tough.
never seen before from
Yeah,
an
he was
artist.
like,
You feel me?
it was tough to go on at. It was tough to go on at them. You feel me?
We
And
talking about Hove, the one that everybody loved. He said he learned from him pretty much.
yeah,
And
crowd engagement.
that's what Hove do. He studied
Yeah,
the great ones. But that's just
yeah,
it just felt good to see that it's always some type of love and respect, even for the
yeah,
ones that you compete with, your peers. You
yeah.
know what I mean? But like I said, X, he always felt like he wanted the love. You know what I mean? Like, don't forget about what I've brought to the table, what I've done in the game. It's
Like the
unmatched.
like the tours for real. Like when they did that Hard Knock Life tour, man, that shit. Man, I remember watching the documentary and Redman and Meth dropping blunts out their pocket and some more shit. Like on the side, they were so what I'm saying, they had so much fun on that tour. And it take you back to a time like, damn, but what if it wasn't so competitive? Like you look at certain artists now, like certain artists is just hanging together. They calling each other best friends. You know what I'm saying? They only time they really competing with each other is if the album's coming out. And even then, they moving around to stay away from each other and let everybody eat. So I just think it was like more so label crews,
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. It's
you know what I'm
talking
saying?
about the big dogs. When the bosses come in the room, a lot of shit change.
Yeah.
And 50 showed you that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But moving on, like I said, I think Jay-Z and Nas, they had dope verses.
Right.
According to Swizz, this is a old joint that he kept in a stash for a while. Like you said, he presented it in the little mini verses. The irony,
Mm-hmm.
him and Tim, they actually doing the official verses tomorrow. So
Yeah.
people got something to look forward to that with tomorrow. But when they pretty much, what was it, at Summer Jam or something like that, at a concert where they pretty much was going back and forth playing joints in the vault, and they played
Yeah.
this,
And then they
and
had
folks went crazy.
they had something else when they was before they actual verses started. They had one. They was on Instagram for like 5 hours or some shit
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
that's right, they did do one on there.
Yeah,
So
playing
so
way
again,
more
they were
than 20
teasing,
joints.
people with this. You know
Yeah,
what I
but
mean?
look what
Anytime
it but look
you
what
get
it
Nas
started
and
though.
Hove, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Anytime you get Nas and Hove, people instantly going to be interested, especially because you're
right.
talking X on there as well. So,
Yeah.
like I said, it's bittersweet, but again, we got a track with all three of them on
I
that.
should, cause shit. I mean, I'm not. We don't have. It's not like we strangers to Nas and X rapping because they had the joint
Oh
with
no,
Belly, and it's not like we're strangers to X and Hove because of the money cash holes and shit like that. In the era of the hard knock life shit, where it was a lot of Swiss, Timbo, and Pharrell all over them joints. You feel what I'm saying? With the Annie samples and all that. So all that shit has always been like interconnected anyway. So I mean, Irv
yeah,
Gotti brought all that motherfuckers to Def Jam anyway. Like,
exactly.
and I mean,
And all
that's
had different
just
sound. All had different sounds to,
yeah,
as an artist. Nas was
yeah.
different from X. X was different from, Jay-Z. But apparently they always had a rivalry back in the day in school, battling each other and shit like that. So
Mm-hmm.
again, this was just the culture back
Or
in the
or the
day.
or the famous X and J battle at the pool table in Harlem somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. Even the clip, there's one on online. Y'all can see for yourself where the Muslim was in there getting down in the cipher. This is legendary hip hop shit. But again, like I said, for fans to actually wonder, you don't have to wonder anymore. We finally got a track with all three of these artists on there, and I think they delivered. Again, with Swizz, it's a produced album that's obviously sounds like a Swizz Beats album.
Yeah,
You either can fuck with it or you don't. For
right.
me, I think he did a good job putting this together.
Right.
Again, people have to understand X hasn't released the album in a while, and the game has changed, the industry has changed, the sound, the way people rap, all of that shit has changed. So
Right.
who knows? Given some extra time, I'm sure he would have gave us, he would have gotten better.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have
He,
been as rusty. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. He seemed like he was falling in love with everything again. Getting back
Yes,
out.
yes. And
Um.
he had dope shit down to the lyrics in here. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
you're a bar type guy like I am, sometimes you don't hear shit on the come out. But then when you play it back again, you play it, certain shit hits you. And with X, that's what it was. In 1 minute he could really have that conviction like he was ready to hurt something. But then
Right.
in the next he could, calm it down and give you that
Yeah.
tone where he just speaking to you, you know?
So so what got me, with this album, like, and it's strange to me. It's like it's balanced.
Hmm.
It's more of a, it's more it's some of the old acts that you love, the grit, the grimy, but it's also, the passionate side, the human side. All his albums has always kind of been that way anyway. So when you
Hmm.
think about it, and he closed all his albums with a prayer. So I mean, but when you think about it, Swiss, if everybody mad at the Swiss production, it's because nobody, at this point, nobody would touch X. Like, let's be clear. They didn't. People were scared to roll with him, and Swiss has always been in his corner, whether he been
And
down
that's
or
and
up.
that's fine.
You know
That's
what I'm
that's
saying?
okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So,
Naturally,
yeah,
X. That's the whole point. With this album, the fact that it was more so just
getting your
singing.
feet wet again.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
seeing how his peers embraced him even over the years, to know that at any given moment, X, you could tap back in, the niggas gonna
Mhm.
show up, when which they
Yeah.
did. And that's the bittersweet part about all of this, is that all of this time you putting all of these moments together, you laying the groundwork.
Hmm.
And who knows if this man knew that he wasn't going to be here to see,
Right.
the benefits of this album, this project. But I do think it holds weight. It's not as
Yeah.
bad as some folks, making it out to be. Like, no, this shit is good. Swizz did his thing. Swizz Beats
Right.
has stayed true to his sound. Swizz
Yep.
ain't gonna change shit up, so why do it now? You know what I mean? And I think he did a pretty good job putting this together compared to some other X joints that I've heard in the past that I wasn't, necessarily as
Mhm.
what I'm saying, fond of. And I don't really go back to those. When we think about X, we think about the early work and,
Mhm.
a little past for real. You know what I mean? X has always had his signature sound. And moving on to the third track, Dogs Out. Finally. We got Lil Wayne and
Wheezy.
DMX on a song. I
So
mean, let's talk about it. What are your thoughts, man, about
this
this
is
one?
my so I'm hearing this is one of those re-release, you know
Right, because of the beat. The Wayne just did that joint. But aside from that,
right.
I think this is
But
their first
this is my
collab,
first
right?
time hearing it. Yeah, but this is
Okay,
my
okay.
first time hearing it. So it was a
Mhm.
different level of shock value for me. So what's crazy is, people always talk about, oh, Wayne this, Wayne that, and Wayne rapping alongside X for the first time, and it don't sound wild. It don't. He ain't saying no off the wall shit. Like, Wayne is really like, he barring up. He kind of matching a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, and it's just dope. Like, it's dope because it's like, yo, you remember hearing about the Cash Money Rough Rider tour. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So,
Yeah.
man, you look at it like, oh shit, like this whole album, a lot of this shit sound full circle.
Hmm.
Like, full circle for real. Like, yo, remember I was a little young pup. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm rapping with the big dogs. And the hook was a little weird for me. But
Yeah.
but
Well,
other than that, I ain't had no problem. I mean, because to me, you know, if you rapping along, you rapping on X album, especially if it's X last album,
mhm.
you gonna bring it. Whether you anywhere in the room with this man or studio with this man, oh, you gotta stand next to it. So you can't bring no bull. So Wayne
Mhm.
showed up, X showed up, and again, it's a dope song. It's like, it's not one of my favorites, but I
Mhm.
liked it. I liked it a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And That's
No,
yeah.
go ahead. My bad. I just wanted to make sure I ain't want, wanted to
Yeah,
make
it's
sure
just
you.
one
My
of it's
bad.
one of the ones I like. I ain't getting into my favorite tracks. I think we're gonna say that for the end because we got to go
Right,
to
right,
top to
right.
bottom.
We going, you know what I'm saying?
Top to bottom.
For me, like you said, the hook was a little off. I did notice that I felt like this was another song that Wayne did about a year ago. He released. A lot of folks was hyping up. But ultimately, again, it was a joint where X and Wayne got to do some music together. I'm pretty sure X was a fan of Wayne. Like I always wanted to do music with Wayne. So again, this was one of the moments where he could make amends with all the shit that he didn't do
Right.
back when he was, he had his historic run. Now I can be able to overlook all of this shit and really make good quality music because it ain't always about you all the time. Sometimes you
Right.
got people in your family that be like, yo, imagine if you did a song with Wayne. Imagine if you did a song. And
Right.
you do that shit, you take that shit to heart like, damn, why not? Why can't we do music like
Right.
that? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure if, what about like DMX and Scarface? Like, to me, that would have been
Yeah.
like a crazy collab. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, well, you had that before. You had that. No, you had Nas and Scarface. I'm sorry.
yeah.
On the I Am album, and
Right,
DMX
right.
and Nas on that. All right, yeah, that's. I started putting shit
Another
together.
right.
My
But they was
mind went
around.
somewhere.
But
You know what I'm saying?
Scarface was around during that time period. But
Yeah, I love I
that
love
type of
Face.
music, of
I
course,
love
you know what I
Face.
mean.
You know what I'm saying?
And salute the Face, the legend for real. But
Yeah,
ultimately, Dogs
one of my
Out,
favorites.
Swiss Beats, somehow through his type style of beat in there. You know what I'm saying? What is that special delivery beat sample for real? If I'm not mistaken. I
Yeah.
believe so. Yeah. So it was good. As
Shout out
far
to
as like
Black
who.
Rob and G Dep.
Oh yeah, rest in peace.
You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Black Rob.
I don't know. Like I said, the hook for me, it didn't sit well with me. I got to be honest with that. But aside from that, it was dope to get a verse with Wayne and DMX. Ultimately, like I said, this album right here, if you're a fan of X and you just want to hear something, this is what it was about. I don't know how many young cats gonna be out here listening to it, but this is a
Right.
very personal album, in my opinion. He got a lot of shit in here in which it's going to hold weight. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure his family, his immediate family, his children, they definitely going to be crying listening to this. But
Yeah.
these songs right here is, good energy. You know what I mean? It just puts you in a good mind frame. You know what I mean? Towards the middle of the album, that's when the heavy tracks started coming in. That's when the personal joints started coming in.
We gonna
But
get into it.
yeah, next up we got Money, Money, Money featuring Moneybag Yo.
Now, this one is one of my favorites because it's like it comes on and it smacks you right in the face because you hear Moneybag Yo, who you kind of don't expect. Like the Wayne makes sense, but then this Moneybag Yo comes on and it's like Moneybag Yo and X. Like, wait a minute, it's just like how when you was like, oh shit, Cole is on Moneybag Yo album. Like, I wonder what this gonna sound like because
Right.
it's not the same style, it's not the same vein. And Moneybag come on and catch the body a bit, man. He come in, he come with the buzz, and it's like, yo, again, you can't. It's like, man, if I know I got a rap over here on this shit, I can't come. I gotta come to rap, and
Yeah.
it was just dope to see because now you get to see Moneybag in a different light. Now people like, oh shit, Moneybag. But I just heard Moneybag
And
last.
I'm sure he a
Yeah,
fan of X. Come on,
yeah,
man.
right. And
At
I just
some
got
point.
finished listening to Moneybag last album, the one he just dropped not too long ago. And on there, he was talking that talk. He was giving you something else, which he ain't known for. People sleeping on thinking he just trap
Yeah,
trap trap.
East
But
Coast different. East Coast
yeah, yeah.
fans,
But but
artists from the South, he held it
but
down.
but like Andre
Right.
3000 said back in the day,
We
the
got
South
something to
got something
say.
to say. Like, man, come
Yeah.
on, like these niggas ain't playing with you. I
But
mean, I'm pretty
you know
sure
the
Ti's
backstory
and
about this
Jeezy.
this
Yeah.
song, correct? Money,
No,
money,
I don't.
and all,
I don't.
again,
It kind of money,
check
money,
out the
money.
interview.
My bitch is my money. Like that. It kind of remind me of that. Kind of remind me of Money Cash Holes. It's in that lane. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. For me, I love the hook to the song. X is wild. You know what I mean? Like it's just money, 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 bitches, 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 all these fucking killers, but the jail's full of snitches. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just he
yeah.
telling some real shit. You know what I mean? Say cheese.
Talk
Now
real
I got
tough.
pictures of what a bitch is. I mean, only X can say shit like this and
Yeah,
actually mean that shit. You know, with conviction. You can't get
yeah.
that from someone else. So
Well, you
the
know
funny
his
thing,
history, his
well,
DNA. He was
exactly,
he
exactly.
was
You
a
know, we talking
rap
about
man.
Baltimore back in the day,
Kick
so you
man,
know they
kick
had
that shit
history
out,
with X.
man. Kick
But
it
that's
out,
what.
man. kick, kick it out,
Yeah,
man.
man. But ultimately, you know, with the track, Swizz pretty much explained that this was the song that Pop Smoke was actually supposed to be featured on, but
Mm,
his people actually used the verse that they were going to use for the song on another song, and Swizz didn't feel like that would have been right. So
yeah.
right before the deadline where they had to put the album in, he reached out to Moneybag and shout out to Moneybag. He delivered the
Yeah.
verse in
Shout
24
out, brother.
hours. You know what I mean? So
Ooh,
again,
I ain't know
people,
that.
yeah, yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh,
And
he
it's a
sent
little
over a smoker.
yeah, again, but you know, when you talk about a
Mm-hmm.
different type beat, it's something to build on the resume. You could say,
Yeah,
look, I got a feature with X and I'm on a Swizz beat. You know what I mean? It's 2 for 1. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
shout out to Money for doing that because he one of the hottest artists right now.
yeah,
And for X, he wanted to embrace the younger generation with this. And why not do a song with Moneybag Yo? That to me, that was dope. That was dope.
yeah.
It's gonna be
Double
a
fire.
different because we talking Swizz beats. So to me, it was
Yeah,
like you taking a risk with the sound because people already know
yeah,
how Moneybag is with his music. So him on a Swizz beats type, you know what I mean, production, it's like okay,
yeah.
and it worked. It
Did
worked.
it? Did they thing on that? Yeah,
Yeah, it definitely did, man. I mean, like I said, to me, it was just this album showed growth. You know, at
it
50
did.
years old, I mean, if you was
He
expecting
sound
that
like a
old,
50-year-old.
exactly. If you was
You know what I'm
expecting
saying?
that old first album X, of course, you know, you wasn't gonna get that. You
But
wasn't gonna get
see,
that in 2021, man.
at the end of the day, as you get older, yeah, I don't even want it. I don't want as dark and hell as high X in 2021 at 50 years old. Because at that
Right,
point,
right,
it's
right.
not believable. Because you know you're not that guy no more. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you shouldn't be, and I don't think he was. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't scratching, clawing, and surviving. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know what the finance and stuff like that was like, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't in that bag no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying, with the amount, of kids he got, or just having kids in general, it changed your mindset, set in your perspective. So
Hmm.
I don't believe that he was anywhere near that mindset. But he had to give you a little bit of that, balance it all the way out. And
Yeah.
yeah, if you think that he should be rapping like his first album at 50 years old, um, just take a seat, relax, close your eyes, and go push play on the
Listen
first
to that
album. Then
old shit.
you know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying, go
right,
listen to the
right.
first album. You know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying,
right. Like Hov said, yeah. You know what I mean? Go
it's
buy
different.
my first shit for real.
It's different. You know what I'm saying? Because 444 Hove and Reasonable Doubt hold two different dudes. You know what I'm saying? So
But
I
you know
look at it like
that's a
that.
part of life, as you
You
know.
supposed to evolve, grow, and change.
Constantly, constantly,
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
growth. You know what I mean? Why are we living to be the same? I don't think so. You know what I mean? But the next track, "Hold Me Down," we got X. You know, doing a feature with Alicia Keys.
Which he always
Um,
wanted.
of course, something simple, not too much over the top. "Hold Me Down." You know, what are your thoughts having, a song with, X and Alicia Keys, man? What be your thoughts on
Um,
this?
when I was watching an interview when Swiss talked about it earlier, he was like, kind of, it was she's one of his favorite artists, and X is an R&B dude more than a rap dude. So he was basically saying like Alicia is one of X's favorite artists, and when he met her, he in the room like, man, I can't believe, and Swiss said he was shocked that X was like that, excited like that. You feel what I'm saying? Because he's like, damn, he's like, yeah, I know that's my wife and all, and I know her catalog, but he was like, it was just shocking to see X like that because you rarely see him excited like, that. And I thought that was dope. So it was something that he wanted anyway. You feel what I'm saying? And apparently this happened when X was still alive. You know, they went and did the record while he was still alive. So that's dope. You know what I mean, that's definitely not a put together. But the song in general, I mean, I liked it. I mean, but I didn't. It wasn't like it's not on my favorites list of this album. It's just one of those tracks I just strongly like. It's cool. It give you a vibe, and he talking his talk. So yeah, You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
That's
mean, Alicia Keys and another, person that blew up, late 90s, early 2000s for real.
mhm.
Like you said, X was a fan. I mean, who isn't a fan of Alicia Keys and
Of
the hits
course.
she done made over her career? And again, like I said, this was more of a thing of just getting the ability to do shit you never really got to do early on in
Cause,
your career.
Cause I ain't gonna stunt. She killed that fireworks too. Back in the day with the Drake joint. That's just one of my joints, man.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, she killed that. She a hook monster in her own right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely liked it, you know. It's not too
Oh
many
man.
joints on here I don't really, I don't like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said for me, I think it was very personal. A lot of things on his bucket list where he like, I always wanted to do music with artists, and let's see what happens. Let's reach out to these people. That's one thing that Swizz pretty much reiterated was that a lot of the people that he reached out to, they didn't act like divas. They didn't make it a issue to, put
Yeah,
some
like
music
he
down, for X
yeah,
for real, because they was genuine fans of his
yeah,
music and his work and how he reached out to the people, and actually he was more than just a celebrity. X was a,
right.
a real human being, and people
Right.
they reached beyond that, and they got so
Right.
much more from him as an artist. And again, we seen the issues that you know people like to talk about. Shout
Yeah.
out to John Horse in the building, another content creator. You know what I mean? Shout out to the legend. You know what I mean?
Shout out to you.
We on here talking about X, brother. We talking about the new Exodus album review. Just pretty much, giving our thoughts on the whole album, man. Bittersweet X isn't here with us. But again, like I said, talking about this project, it feel real personal and just seeing X, having the versatility and just you don't have to wonder no more, what if,
Right.
What if X had an album with this person? What if X had an album with that person? Now, he got vocals with, Bono from U2. Again, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
a big fan of the music. I don't know all that music, but I'm smart enough to know who the hell they are. It's a pretty big deal, right?
Yeah.
What was your
I
thoughts
mean,
on that project?
and what that song you mean?
Yeah, that song. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, which one is that? Is that Skyscrapers?
There you go. Yes, it is.
That's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you why, because he's giving his praise, to God on that. And what better, person to do it. And like Swiss said again, I was watching a lot of Swiss interviews this week, and he said Bono told X he loved him. Man, I always loved you, like I loved your music. And he said X was touched by that. So he was like in awe of that shit. Like he couldn't believe it. Like this guy, like yeah, he was like, man, that's all X ever really wanted from the people and from his peers, and from the world is the love, the respect, the admiration. Um, to be mentioned, and to be respected by other artists. Like so, it was mutual between them. So that's why the track came out like that. And I think that's another thing. I think that we need to have more of that cross genre collaboration.
Right, right.
Um,
And it happens a
because
lot. It happens, especially in today. It's a lot of that
yeah,
going on. You know what I
because
mean?
it's a lot of hip hop dudes that's Nirvana
The
fans
influence, but it's the influence for
yeah.
years. You know what I mean?
Like, where you
So
think the Dipset rock stars, what I'm saying, H came from? It's like
exactly. You know what I mean? But
and you
even
mix
back
that with
when
the hip hop, it's drippy.
but even back then with Run DMC and Aerosmith, I mean, it always happens. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What if? Because people always think about the money, but with this one, this track, if I'm not mistaken, Wiz had the vocals from Bono years ago. He had it laid away in the vault. He got it approved because again, people really fuck with DMX and his music. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So again, something that's to really hold the heart for X, knowing that he got an opportunity to work with some of the biggest artists, and really
Yeah.
do it the right way.
Yeah.
Because
And you
I'm
know
pretty
what?
sure, in another album or so, it wouldn't have been no features. X would have just been going crazy. He just would have been
Yeah.
barking on every song, going
But
in
but
for real.
but you know what though? I think that's why people that got it's a little hate on this album
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't expect this type of DMX. They didn't expect these type of songs, these type of features. People wanted to hear X all the way through. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like, that's great, but one of my favorite songs had the X did have Faith Evans on
Mm.
being played. How's it going? That like that shit. Then you got another one, Cisco, with these bitches want from a nigga like. So when you come back with a track like Take Control that has Snoop Dogg on it, and it's in that same pocket, that same vibe, you're like, yo, wait a minute.
Right,
It's a
right.
callback to, you know what I'm saying?
Certain
And
certain joints give you that feel with the
right,
album. You get those moments.
yeah. So I'm like, man, how y'all
Bronze in the
hating on how
building.
y'all
Shout out to Bronze. Never
hey,
good loyal
what's up
homie
with the
on
people?
on a tube. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we got real people in the building, yo. You know what
You
I
know what I'm
mean?
saying?
Got
And
shout out to people. You know what I mean? We doing Exodus album review, man. Salute,
and
salute.
and and how you hate on, somebody just giving you quality art. Like it's clear that the man was passionate about the arts. He was just getting back into it. You know what I'm saying? Getting his feet wet, you know, putting himself back out there and everything like that. So and you can't hate on that. I don't care how it came across or how people think it should be. You didn't create the art. You know what I'm saying? All this shit is subjective. You got opinions. I like it. You know what I'm saying? To me, if it's a 13 song album and I like 7 or 8 songs off, it's a great album to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And that's
I
just, you
mean,
know what I'm
I,
saying?
I I think I think of course, people going to always criticize something. They're gonna always have an opinion. But with songs like Skyscrapers with Bono, it gives X an opportunity to show his personal side. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It shows the range. It
Where it
shows
kind of pour his heart out.
right, right, the versatility. You know what I mean? A lot of these artists they can really learn something today. It's the same old content, but in reality, you really going through real life issues. X was never
Yeah.
ashamed to talk about God in his music, his relationship with God, his ups, his downs, the people that he helped. That's why I said, even if you
But thanks
wasn't
to
a
DMX, but thanks to DMX that and Tupac that Kanye those niggas walk so Kanye could run, but Jesus walks. You hear me? Like people gotta understand. It take a
they
motherfucker.
had a
Somebody gotta take.
relationship as well too.
Yeah,
So
somebody gotta get tapped on the chin, before everybody else can run through the door. So yeah, man, ain't nothing wrong with gut. Like yo, you think motherfucker run around robbing people, selling dope all day, doing all the shit they talk about in these records and surviving it. You think God ain't somewhere on their shoulder? Like, come on now. Like it's a part of that shit, man. Like it's a part of hip hop. Like, you
yeah,
know, music is a spiritual, it's spiritual in itself. You know what I'm saying? But hip hop is a genre that's spiritual and is connected to the streets because you're going through the struggle. You know, uh, just think of slavery, you know what I'm saying? Or you think of, when we was going through that, when the ancestors was going through that trauma, they was singing slave hymns. Like it really ain't no difference. Like when you come from the streets and the streets is your background, you gonna make a certain type of music, and that's your gospel. That's your get through. That's you, getting your demons out. What is what I call it. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say some people they call it conjuring. You know how it is, man.
You know what I'm
But I'm
saying?
I'm a
I
type
mean, that's when
person
you
that
want demon time
when
though.
when,
You know what
when
I'm
you but
saying?
when you talking about thank you, my brother, hip hop, higher infinite power healing our people. Thank you. We get this conversation a lot because again we got a generation that's really out here pushing demonic Satanism type music. They act as if speaking God, you know what I'm saying, is forbidden or some shit like that, But again, we it's so overpopulated. People gonna believe what they believe. I don't get too caught up in that. But again,
Right,
X was never ashamed with that. You know what I mean?
right,
He always told you up front, what was he going, all the issues that was going on, he always put it out there on the table. So again, and he from that era where it was really about that. You had to be nice,
mm-hmm.
you had to rhyme, you had to battle niggas. So
Mm-hmm.
hip hop and the representation of that,
And you
it's a
had to be
different
able to
element.
make a great body of work, a great
Yes,
body of
yes.
work,
Which he's
not
always
just
done that. He's always
yeah,
done that, but he's done it his way. So you have to respect that. You know what I mean? X, he never half-assed. He either fuck with it or he didn't. You know what I mean? But with this album, he was much more comfortable. He was
yeah,
much more calm on certain songs, you know. And like I said, to me, it just showed growth in the artist, and just I just wish he would have gave him more time to put more music together, because I felt like it would have got better. He'd have got more
Yeah.
comfortable putting out, you know, the
You,
music that we let her hear. You know,
you know what skyscrapers remind me of? That
what's
and
that?
Walking in the Rain.
What you gonna say?
Those
Beach
tracks,
chair?
no, those type of tracks remind me of They Don't Know, you know,
Right, right,
Slipping, where
right.
he's really bearing his soul. And it's another record, man, that he did back in the day. And I just had the name and it slipped my mind. Damn, man. It was
It's all
Slipping,
good,
They
man.
Don't
It's
Know.
all good.
But it was all the Great Depression.
Mm-hmm.
That album was a dope album. You know what I'm saying? I love that
Solid.
album too. So
Yeah.
he's just being X. I don't understand what people's problem is. That's the issue.
It is what it is, but we can't focus too much on the, you know, half empty glass. We can talk about it being half full, however you look at it. But
Yeah.
moving on, we enter a skit at this part of the album where, you know, it goes back, you know, in time. You know what I mean? Where a stick up happens on a skit, and it gives you that shit straight out of a movie. You know what I mean? And then of course, it was a nice introduction to bring in the Griselda track, Hood Blues. Of course, they already had
One of my favorites.
they put out the song this week. A lot of folks I know in my media circle was like they weren't going to listen to the song because they wanted to hear it.
I was one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Explain why. Why do you do things
So
like that? You know.
I do things like that. Certain tracks tend to spoil the album. Right. Like so if you get
Mm-hmm.
that to me, that's a high profile track. That's one of those oh shit moments. Like this nigga and these niggas, oh man, all bets off, this shit gonna be hard. And I wanted to know how it would fit and how it would play out through the entire album, like where it would fit in the structure. Like because I come from an era where you would listen to a whole body of work from top to bottom. It wasn't no playlist. It wasn't none of that. Like you got a CD, you pop that motherfucker in, you hit play, and you let it play through at least 3 times before you start picking favorite songs that'll be a part of your playlist or what your go-to records. And for
Right.
me, I come from that. So when there's certain artists, I push play and I let it bump, I let it ride. I don't skip nothing, I don't stop nothing. I let it play through just to hear how it would go. And
Mm-hmm.
where that skit was at and where that song was at, and then the song that came after it was almost perfect album structure.
Right. Right.
Structure, pacing, timing. Like song structure is important. Album structure is important. What do they call it in the industry? They call it arrangement.
Hmm.
The album's arrangement. Like
Right.
some
Right.
people can make dope songs and cannot arrange an album. You
All
have
the
an,
time. All the
an
time.
intro and a top track. We just got finished with J. Cole a week ago.
Off season. Yes, sir.
Yeah, off season, top to bottom. The intro track, Cam comes in
They did the
95.7.
same thing. They did
It
the
go
same thing.
crazy.
He put out the interlude, and some
Yep.
people got mixed reviews. But when you heard the song in the album and the way it was placed, like you
It
said,
flowed perfectly.
same with it. Same with this. In my opinion, I felt like because the backstory to all this is crazy. You know, Swizz Beatz, he pretty much told Breakfast Club, at least in the interviews, how X, pretty much put the music down. But in this case, X went to Griselda. You know, he just one day, took it upon himself, went over to their studio, and they laid the vocals. And they called Swizz and was like, "Yo, I got a track with Griselda." Like X was just moving very different. You know what I mean? Like on this album, he just wanted to make sure that people knew who he was. He was laying the groundwork so that way he can just, get
And
back
just do him.
into putting good music out there.
But you,
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
as you get older, as an artist, all of that ego and shit like that, especially a 50-year-old man, that shit probably, it leaves you, so you like, man, damn, little young guys, you know what I'm saying, remind me of what we was doing back in the day, you feel me? Like, and you kind of like look at them and like, damn, like these three little niggas with superpowers. Well, from X perspective, these
Right.
three little niggas with superpowers, man. I like the way they get down. They grimy, they gutter, they from the street. You know what I'm saying? And they talking that talk. And that's
What
the
did you
type
think
of
about their verses? What did you think about West Side Gun? I mean, did you think everyone delivered on this
Man,
track, man.
they did what they did what they were supposed to do. And like I be trying to tell people, like, man, you know, the only other three niggas hard like that is the Locks. And I mean, that's no
And look and,
disrespect.
but look at the album. He had them both on there. You had Locks coming out
Exactly.
the gate, and they had the
Exactly.
solid verses. And
Cause honestly,
when Griselda spit what they gave you, solid verses. I mean, West
yeah,
Side Gun, you know, the do like the ad libs, all of that shit.
yeah,
Just Conway, I'm more of a Conway guy. Benny did his thing, but
yeah,
to me, the way that they put the ad libs together, the way X was growling on that motherfucker, the
yeah.
production. Shout out to Avenue Beats, you know, helping Swizz with the beats because it gave you a Griselda feel. People was already saying
Mm-hmm.
this felt like a Griselda song, but I ain't gonna lie, I loved how you know, X infused his ad libs on there with the growl, and it just gave me Sean Price. It gave me Sean Price feel. If I'm not
Right.
mistaken, this is a beat. If I'm not mistaken, I think Sean Price might have actually did this beat before. You know what I mean? But it gave me Sean
Right.
Price
Flip the same
vibes.
sample.
Yeah,
Like flip the same sample.
yo,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It gave me those vibes. And rest in peace, Sean Price, man, another
Rest in
legend
peace,
for
man.
those. You know what I mean? It was definitely nice with the pen. You know what I mean? Ball heavy for real, in the sense of
Yep.
just how he talked to you. But that was the vibes that I was getting with this track. And to me, I don't even think X, you know, he didn't have to rap on this. But of course, you know, it was probably a competitive thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
looking at these niggas cook up and putting this shit together, as you can see in the new video that's released. I'm sure
Yeah.
X was like, "Oh nah, hell no, I'm gonna put this motherfucking verse together. I'm with Griselda, nigga. You know what I'm saying?"
I got to do this. But you know what's crazy though? The crazy part about that, like, you just could see like it's this happening more often. You feel what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
when you think of X first song, um, Get At Me Dub, like live raw from the tunnel, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Rapping was something to prove coming out hard where it was all shiny suits and you know mafioso glasses. This nigga came out like nigga, I'm on a dirt bike. I got this motherfucking pit bull. You niggas want to be killers, get at me, dog. I think people forget where he comes from. So
Right.
Griselda shit is right up his alley. Like people gotta
Yeah,
understand that.
yeah.
Like that's classic X Men. Like, this shit, I
That's why I
liked it.
said it's still.
It's
I
my
love
shit.
the production. I love it. It's contagious. I can hear the shit in my head.
Yeah.
And you know, like I said, to me, it's one of the highlights of the album. Just hearing them again coming out with the locks on the first track, and then you got Griselda at this point of the album. I mean, you know, it's living up to expectations, man.
Yeah.
It's putting you through a wave of emotions through the album. The energy 1 minute, and now you like, yo, now he really talking this shit. In it just let me know that he really could exist. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
can honestly say that artists like Griselda and many more would have reached out for X. You know what I mean? The more he got active in the studio,
Mm-hmm.
got comfortable putting out music that he wanted to put out. Um,
But he what you call a legacy act though. So like that
yeah,
part when
yeah,
that would have happened anyway because it's like man nigga that's DMX like and that's probably how like it's just like anytime like yo that's nigga that's Esco that's DMX
yeah.
that's Jay Z that's you feel what I'm saying that's Scarface that's Raekwon nigga that's Raekwon like they don't have to really do too much to get you. If Swiss hit you like, yo, listen, Raekwon want to do a record. 90% of these young dudes who grew up on that, who around our age, who making music, they gonna bite. Oh, Raekwon, shit, he like my shit. All right, bet we gonna link. We gonna see how this. I'm about to go meet Raekwon. Like that's how that
Right.
worked. Like the nigga, this DMX. Like y'all must have forgot he has a song. Like y'all
But
must
that's
have
what I
forgot.
said. Being
But
an
I'm just
artist,
saying.
and that's nice with the pen. Naturally, you're gonna become competitive. That energy, being in the
Mm-hmm.
studio around them dudes, and they've been doing it for a while. They've been real comfortable
Yeah,
cooking up fire shit. That's all they do over
yeah.
there
That's
is
all they
cook up.
do.
You know what I'm saying? So that was good for X. You know what I mean? And you know, I know it felt good for them to be around X having that energy. Like, yo, we got the dog with us. Like, yo, we
Yeah, I was
really
watching
we really gotta step up and bring our shit to the game because
yeah,
niggas know what the potential of X can do. X had the potential of bodying niggas in the cipher. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I met a joint that the freestyle he had with Pun in them.
Classic shit.
At the round table. But this the
Yeah.
crazy part, man. I was watching not Adam 22, not him, the other guy, not Cosmic Cat, Bootleg Cat. And he was interviewing Conway, and
Okay.
they found out that X passed right there doing interview. And yo, like that shit just was airy because it got real quiet. They ain't even know how to continue the interview. You know what I'm saying? And that just show you the impact, man. It's
Yeah,
impact.
and I'm pretty sure he instantly thought about the last time being there with X putting that music together.
Yeah. No,
Like,
Conway said
dang.
he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? He kind of like just, you know what I'm saying? I
Well,
think he
put the
said
verse together.
yeah, I think he said Benny and them was there. He
Okay.
couldn't catch his flight in time and shit. But yeah.
I was gonna say I definitely seen the video. So in the video, it made it seem as if they were all there at the session
Right.
that came out. So I guess shout out to the director that put that shit together. He definitely made it look like they was all at the session because in the interview, Swizz basically said that X called him like, "Yo, I'm at the studio." So
Yeah.
however, but it just sounded good. Like I said, to me, it was one of the highlights of the album. And like I said, it's bittersweet, man. It's tough, but we gonna be positive. We gonna keep it. You know what I mean? G for X, and run up the streams, play the music, make the album #1. Y'all make sure
Yeah.
y'all like the channel, like the video. Subscribe to my bro GemzTv if you haven't already. And moving into the next song, "Take Control" featuring Snoop Dogg. Man, we got a Marvin Gaye sample. I'm sure Swizz paid a nice penny for that sample. What are your thoughts on a Snoop collab with DMX, man?
Man, finally.
The dog and the dog, right?
Yeah, the Doug and the Doug. We got the verses. That was crazy. You saw the love between the two. It was only natural. They probably recorded this when he was out there and recording in
Yeah,
Snoop
yeah,
studio.
yeah.
So it was all love. It was probably positive vibes.
Mhm.
And it's just like you get this. It sounds like X and it sounds like Snoop. And it works. It works because, like I said earlier, it gives you the vibes of how it's going down and what these bitches want. It's in X's bag. And he get on there talking the way he talk. You know what I'm saying? And what it does is it open dope mask, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
Um,
Thank you. I just wanted to
what
go
it
ahead and plug
does,
that in. You
what
know.
it does is it damn, what it does is it just
Distracted you.
adds,
My bad. My apologies.
yeah. What it does is it just adds something else to the table. Yeah, because now I want one. Um, but then Snoop come on with the calm, the calm, cool demeanor like you always
You
do.
know how
I
Snoop
swear,
is,
I
man.
swear,
He
Snoop
gonna
one of the
take a. He
coolest
gonna
niggas in
flip.
hip hop.
That's what
He
I
do a
mean.
lot.
Like it's how
He
That's just
he do
how
a lot
Snoop
of
is.
weird shit in interviews, but he a
Yeah,
cool
that's
nigga on them
we're
records. You know
gonna
what I'm
keep it
saying?
respectful tonight.
You know what
Out of
I'm saying?
respect for X, we keeping it
You know what I'm saying?
respectful. This is we just talking about music here. This just
Yeah.
music. But the collaboration, like Swizz said in the interview after Versus, X pretty much stayed in LA, stayed at Snoop shit for real, and pretty much
Mm-hmm.
stayed there until he finished the whole album. Snoop came there every day, cooked for him, checked on him, make sure they was good. Got the hell out the way. You know what I mean? But
Hospitality, man, and you don't see that no more, man. Motherfuckers like, cause he loved them niggas, man. Like people gotta understand when they start putting these coasts against each other, it's a bad thing because it's like, yo, yeah, it started in New York, everybody loved it, don't get me wrong. But the fact of the matter is, everybody loved it. Once you introduce something to the world, it's now the world's to consume and to
yeah,
move that culture however they decide to. So if
yeah,
you inspire somebody way on the other side of the world, the globe, the coast, the Americas, the United States, if you inspire anybody else, anywhere else in the world with something that you do, and they like it enough, they'll go and create their own version of that. And
yeah.
you can just see how much people love each other, you know what I'm saying? Especially when they get older and the egos is out the way and people got time in the game where they lost a lot, they can now reflect and be like, man, I love that guy over there. I always love that guy over there. And the love was mutual. You could tell that from the verses. So another dope moment, man.
But Snoop is very active, man. He's still active as this day. You see him over there putting
Yep.
in work with Triller. He's putting out music. So I'm pretty sure X was getting around a lot of these cats so he can get some of that energy, you know what I mean, to rub off on and get in a
Yeah.
comfortable space where he can get accustomed to making music, making money, getting the easy bag. He older
And,
now, you know what I mean?
getting his flowers, man. Because everybody was definitely giving it
Yeah.
up for him. Like he didn't just get his flowers when he passed away. He got them toward the end. You know what I'm saying? He got it. I think he had it all the time. He just
Yeah.
getting it more now. You saying it more now because like now, damn, he gone. From you don't never get. You can't never replace that energy. So he getting even more love now. It's dope, man. It's dope to see him actually feel some of the love before he left. You know what I mean, so
Yeah.
shout out to Snoop, shout out to X, man. Rest in peace,
Yeah. What,
man.
what what did you think about the sexual healing sample, man? Did you like that sample? Did you like how they
Uh,
flipped that for the song?
Come on, bro. It's Marvin Gaye. Like,
I
what's
mean, but
not to
again,
like?
it's not like it's the first time, of course. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know what I
but
mean?
it was done slightly different. But I mean, a track like that, when you sample something like Sexual Healing, you know it's gonna go. The original was a hit. Anytime you use
Right,
it,
right,
in a hit when Eric Sermon and them used it, it was a hit.
right,
Like
right, right, right.
it's Sexual Healing. Just think about T.I. and the Trouble Man album when he used the
Yeah,
Marvin Gaye samples. That shit was hitting. It's
man.
Marvin
How much
Gaye.
you think they be charging for them samples, man?
Bro, I don't
Goddamn, boy.
even know. It's probably your
They don't
grip. I
play, man.
mean, it's
Don't touch
probably your
they
grip,
shit, man.
and just
You gonna get
don't use it
sued.
without permission because they really gonna tax you then. So
Sue the
it's
socks
gonna get
off
bad.
your ass.
Oh, you
Fuck
use my
with it.
sample, cuz like use my sample, cuz, and you ain't called me first. Oh yeah, run it
I
up,
think
man. two
Pharrell
hundred
and them
thousand.
just got over their case like a year ago from that shit
Yeah,
with
man.
Robin Thicke, boy. Don't
Or the
don't front with
what's
OG
that joint? I
Marvin
forgot
now.
the song. I forgot that song, man.
Blurry lines and shit.
Yeah, man. Blurred lines. Yeah, that.
They
Don't do
said
it again.
Pharrell was stealing all. They was stealing all Marvin shit. I said, God damn, nigga. But
Yeah.
yeah, I like the sample. Again, we talking about finally West Coast, East Coast collaboration. I
Like you
like
said.
both verses. Snoop
And you
comfortable
know
as
what?
ever. He
You
probably
know
laid
what?
his verse that night and shit.
And you know what
One
make
take
it
it for real.
right? But you know what make it even more special that this happened?
What?
Cause just think, in 1998, when X came out, it was off the heels of all that East Coast West Coast bullshit. And you would
Yeah,
never people going through that during that time would have never thought that'd happen. You feel what I'm saying? And hindsight is 2020, man. Shit crazy.
that's why I said about the album. You know what I mean? You're happy that you get to hear X with newer artists, new verses, new material. You just wish he
hmm
could be here to appreciate it, really give us, more insight as to what was he going through, as to why these artists, what made him, reach
I
out to
don't
these
think
artists.
I don't think it'll be a lot of hate if X was alive.
No,
But
no,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't think
I
so.
think
Not with
people
this
got
one.
the wrong impression about the album because he gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
and a
most
lot of
people are
people.
used to those.
Right. A lot of people thinking that it's some put together shit just to make money off of his name, not realizing that, like, nah. I think that's why Swizz is going on the media run as much as he is, letting
Yeah,
it be
to let you
known.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, like, it makes sense now for real.
But but the awkward part about this shit though, like when you look at this album and you look at albums like Machiavelli, people are under the impression that it's a posthumous release when it's
Right,
not.
right, right, right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? That
Right,
shit was
right.
recorded while these gentlemen was alive. So, getting these projects after the fact, you always feel like it's cheapened or some in some type of way, but it's just as authentic as if the person was still here. It's just a matter of fact. It's all about time, and like people expect you to be like, okay, well, it released on this date, then they must have put it together this day. Like no, it's shit timing, man.
Nah, man. But again, I can't be mad. It's just the era that we in. But
Yeah,
again,
because they
I'm
used to
just here.
microwave flavors.
Exactly. That's why I said I'm just
Mm-hmm.
used. I'm appreciative that we actually got to hear new music. Um, but again, moving on to one of my favorite songs on the album, "Walking in the Rain," with featuring
Mm,
Denai Porter from D12. From folks who may not know from Detroit, shout out to Detroit, man,
yeah,
amazing area, legendary artist.
and
And then you
Esco
got and Nas, man.
again. Um,
What was
My
the song
favorite.
with Nas and Quan back in the day, yo?
When the day comes and night falls, the
Hold
rest
up,
of our
yo.
lives will miss y'all. That one,
Hold up, yo.
that was my shit.
I think just a moment. Just a
Yeah,
moment.
yeah,
That's what I kind of got with this track. It gave me just a moment.
yeah.
With excellent, man. Give me your thoughts on this track, man. Walking in the Rain.
Man, to me, one of the highlights of the album, you get a great verse from Nas, you get great vocals and great verses from X, and the beat, man, the beat is fucking fire. Like what Mr. Porter did with this shit was just nuts, and the fact that he's on vocals, like
Yeah.
displaying
I
his
love
other
I love his
talents and
vocals on the
abilities,
hook. I
like
definitely do. And
this
then in the
shit
way
just
X
it's
sung on
almost
that
flawless,
harmonizer, I fuck with it. I fuck with it. I ain't gonna
flawless.
lie to you. Right, right.
Walking in the rain, that shit, man.
Like,
I
you
was
know,
listen, man.
that's when you kind of see you hear the growth with X, and you could
Yep,
tell that, he was trying to be a little different and really, because again, we all listen to the classics, we hear all the shit, and we want to be an artist and create dope shit. So for X,
right.
I'm pretty sure this was a challenge for him. You know what I
Nah, I
mean?
don't. I see. That's where we disagree. I don't think it was a challenge because when
For
you
this
look at
album
his,
and being more personal than,
well, yeah,
just
that, I
being
mean
the
that.
disrespectful X that we all,
I
what I mean? That's
mean,
what I'm thinking in the
well,
sense of
that
like,
part, but if you look at his history, you see
right,
when
right.
you look at his catalog, see his catalog has a history. When you go
Yeah,
back and look
yeah.
at those songs where like the slippings, and you look at all those different records where he was kind of bearing his heart on them records, the vulnerability and the personability was always there. Him being
Facts,
personal was
facts.
always there. You know what
That's a
I'm
fact.
saying? It's just that it's the you're getting the older evolved version, the version that's not so street or industry. You feel what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like it reminds me of slipping so much. Just the that and Letter to My Son. Those two records remind me of slipping because of the type of uh personal shit that he was displaying. You know what I'm saying? The things that
Right.
he was saying, the message that he was conveying is different. It's different. You know, and what it does is it basically wakes you up. Like I mean, not like you sleep on the album, but it basically wakes you up like, oh shit, like I forgot that he was this too. Like you know what I'm saying? Because he known for the like he known for the grit anyway. But when you hear these tracks, it's different. You know what I'm saying? It does something different. It has a different type of sound and feel. So
No, I
it's
mean, like I said, the energy, like like you were saying, actually, the energy, the
yeah,
vibe that you got from it gave you old X feel, and I
yeah,
just like how they put the track together with him on the ad libs doing what he do. He has a certain sound with him, and if it ain't right, you can't fuck with it. And with Swizz, you gotta give him his credit for this,
yeah,
because he did very well putting this album together.
yeah,
To me, it doesn't sound butchered. It doesn't sound put together like, you know, duct tape, some shit that they just put together. Like, no, it felt like X really
yeah,
sat back and was like, you know what? Let me speak on how I feel. You know what I mean? Let
right,
me give people something to really actually, look forward to hearing to and playing back.
right.
So like I said, for me, Walking in the Rain, one of my favorite joints on the album. Constantly
Of
putting,
course.
then Nas, of course. Nas comes and delivers what he does. We got another Nas verse on the album. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
come on, man. New York niggas, they had to make sure that, when X got the call, oh, we gonna step out. We gonna give him what he need. He need another
Yeah.
Nas verse. All right, I'm gonna give him another Nas verse. Yeah, fuck it. We gonna do what we gotta do.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
give him the special sauce, man.
you know what I mean? And then, we move on to the skit. Um, God damn, man. Exodus. He had his young son on there,
Yeah,
which,
talking,
you might have
singing.
seen some of the clips already circulating on social media. X, this is where it got personal. Like, it was like, all right, y'all try to get a nigga to cry on this. Like, you know what I mean? You really pull it on the heartstring because they're on the skitty yelling, daddy, daddy. And that was the whole
Yeah,
thing with this album. Swizz pretty much let it be known that was X motivation. He named the album after his son. So, of course, it was a dope intro to the song that we talking about, that you were talking about earlier, Letter to My Son, featuring Brian King, Joseph and Usher, man. What are your thoughts on that song? Let It To My Son.
Um, it's crazy because what he does is he
Yo,
breaks it down.
you gotta get that over there to Kevin say.
That so what
Sound
he
like
does
Project
is
X over there.
so what he does is he breaks it down or whatever.
Hmm.
Like his relationship with his oldest son. He kind of like
Right,
talks
right,
about it.
right.
He bears it all, and he like, man, listen, basically telling him like, yo, I need you to prepare. You know what I'm saying? Like he was preparing him for this right here. He needed him to be strong. Like let go of the bull. You know what I'm saying? Just because me and mother went through what we went through don't mean you
We
know.
still can't be,
Yeah, I mean we.
have a
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah.
We still
It's just
can't
the
be
fact
close.
that we couldn't get our shit together. It don't have nothing to do with me and you. And why you so distant? Nigga call me. Like, you feel me? Like something that a father would do, and then you like, yo, I got other kids, so it don't mean I love them more and you less, or you more and them less. You know what I'm saying? It's just it is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm teaching you that I just want you to grow at this point. And you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I did drugs, so I don't want you to do it. Like he did, he said everything that a father should and would say to their child. Like, and he did it on the record, man. So effortlessly and so flawlessly. You felt it because you're like, dang, is this nigga talking to me? Like, you know what I'm saying? You should, you know what I'm saying? You like, man, I got to have this conversation too. So it's like,
That's why
if
I
you're a
said
parent,
it was a personal joint, man. It was personal.
man, if you're a
It
parent, you
definitely
feel
touched me.
like, if you're a parent, you feel like, oh, damn, you know what I'm saying? That's a conversation I need to have with my little nigga. Feel me? Because he's getting out of hand. And then, on the flip side of that, if you're a child and you have a bad relationship with your pop, damn, I should call that nigga, man. I feel like this nigga talking to me. Like, so
This song
that's,
definitely Usher coming there
you know
singing
what
and
I'm
shit.
saying? And
Call you
then
fine.
and
Hit
then
that, yeah, call your father in that motherfucker. Let me
you
call
know what I'm
Pop.
saying? Call us, see what he doing, man. What you do this weekend, bro? You know what I'm saying? Wanna have a cookout next month, get some drinks, like, you know what I'm saying? Make you wanna call, yeah, and it's just like, man, like, again, like Jay said in the shopping, man, nigga had you crying if you don't watch it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
you
why people love them.
did it
That's why
again.
they rock with him. They embrace him.
Yeah.
Swizz said in the interview as well that, before the album came out, he had to play it for his son because of this song here. And
Mm-hmm.
he was anticipating to see, moving throughout the album, everyone was happy. And then when this shit came up, that's when he just noticed the change with his son pretty much, appreciating that
Yeah.
he got, he got his moment and pretty much speaking on that situation again. It's public knowledge. We all seen it on TV and shit, social media. But one thing
Mm-hmm.
we can say is he always loved his children no matter what. You know what I mean? And
Of
at the end of
course.
the day, he made sure to put that on the album. This
Yeah.
album in itself, naming it after his youngest son. I mean, like you said, he loved all his children.
Yeah.
Um, it just, like I said, man, it's just one of the things where it's like, damn, it hits with the heartstrings, But again, like you said, that's what was so dope about the song was the fact that as the oldest, you now you hear this shit and it's just like I gotta do what I gotta do on
Mm-hmm.
behalf of Pops, on behalf of the
Yeah.
legacy.
Yeah.
So dope song. And of course, like you said, last joint on the album, man, the prayer, which I'm sure we've heard already.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Overall, to me, the project was a solid project for X. Of
Yeah.
course, I'm sure people wanted more, but again, to me, this was just him getting accustomed to being back in the booth again. And if this is what we got on the come out, imagine, what we could
What
have
we would have
gotten.
gotten later.
Come on, man. That's
Yeah.
that's what
Like.
tripped me out. Salute to Swizz for doing the best that he could with putting a nice, solid album together that give people
Yeah.
that really fuck
Be,
with X that feel like, okay, this is X.
because
This is the
even
X we
if
want to hear.
right, because even if people like, oh, he just pieced together. Even if somebody recorded the music, all of the music was already there, right? All the tracks and everything.
Yeah.
But X is not around to assist with the arrangement of this album and how it's going to play out.
The only thing that changed, the only thing he said he approved everything. The only thing that was changed was the money
Was
bag
the
verse.
past? Yeah, right.
That was it. But everything else, he said X approved of the songs. Everything was good.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
it's
see,
like you can't even criticize it because to me, thinking about it, like what are some songs or some artists do would you like to hear on this album with X? Is there things you thought that could have been better with this album? What could have approved? Was it the
So
production?
to me, it's really nothing wrong with this album. No, like it to for me, I like certain artists. Like so, artists I would love to hear with X would be Scarface. We mentioned earlier. I
Mm-hmm.
would love to hear Ludacris and X.
Yeah, that's different. That's different.
Redman, Meth, and X. Like that shit would been
Yeah,
bonkers because you know him and Redman had a relationship.
the energy.
Um,
Right.
yeah, like man, shit, it's a bunch of artists. Like shit, I would have loved to hear Cole or Kendrick with X because you
God
know X.
damn, boy, you being greedy now. You just being greedy, man. Come on, man. You
Not
say
for this
Cole and
album. I'm
Kendrick,
just
man.
saying,
Like,
like,
yeah, of course. Yeah,
I'm just
shit.
saying in general, man. Shit, God, oh man, Big Crit
Yeah.
on production
Listen, man. I'm
over
surprised we didn't
X.
get a. I'm surprised we didn't get a Kanye verse, right?
Yeah,
Surprised we
that too.
didn't get a
Well,
Yeezy
yeah,
verse with this because they had a relationship. He done
yeah,
did the Sunday service many a times with Yeezy.
yeah.
But to go back on the album and overall looking back on it, man, I think it's a solid project.
Shit, I
If we
think
was
X
going
would have had a
off,
beautiful career as a preacher if he didn't want to do music no more. I'll tell you.
hey, that's
Mm-hmm.
he never shied away from that. He was always there for the people, no matter what, even when the cameras was off. So
Mm-hmm.
prayer was always his thing, being there for people who needed him, even when he needed people the most. You
I
know what
think
I
they
mean?
prayed on the
So
Hard Knock Life tour and shit.
but that's what I mean. That was the type
Mm-hmm.
of artist that he really was. So, but overall, like I said, for X fans, I know it's bittersweet that we don't have him with us anymore. But at least we can appreciate him through the music. The family can, have some type of peace hearing the album, knowing that everyone was mentioned. And this is it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we get. This is all you get, and that's why I don't even care about personally how I feel. It doesn't even matter. This is a personal album for him and his family. We got to get
Right.
features that we enjoyed. But the lyrics to me, man, a lot of this shit was very personal. And you can tell he was writing from the heart and he
Yeah.
meant it. You know what I mean? So, salute to hip hop because, again, same thing with Busta when he came out with the ELE2 shit. Like, a lot of artists, they put their whole life into these projects, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like I said, it just, for me, I would have loved to see what was next. Like once he
Right.
got that out the way, I think shit, him being around artists like Griselda, those type acts, man, he would have, Swizz pretty
Still
much said
shouting
he had him.
still.
That's what I'm saying. Like Swizz pretty much confirmed that he was getting back in shape. He was trying to get in the gym. They was gonna pretty much go missing and hit the 2 month workout and come back out ready to get at niggas, man, and
Yeah.
really put the Rough Rider shit back out there. But it's a new world we in, man. And
Yeah.
this is all we
Go
get.
ahead a different plan, man.
Pretty much. And
You know what I'm
again,
saying?
we just being respectful because this is X and this is his night. This is his weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of artists, they were gonna
And
release
it's definitely got
projects.
replay value. I'm gonna
Of
definitely play
course,
it.
of
I
course,
played it
of
6
course.
times already, so I mean,
Yeah, I gave it that J. Cole treatment, just like last
yeah.
week. Played it, spin it.
Oh shit, I'm still playing that. So
Right. But overall, if I had to rate the project, what you giving it? 1 out of 5. What you giving it, man?
man, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5, man.
A 4 out of 5.
Four out
Four
of
out of
five. Because
five.
if you like I say all the time, man, if you like eight, if it's something, if an album got 13 tracks, and yo, you like 8 out of 13, yo, that's only 5. And I'm saying it's not that the 5 is whack to me. It's just that you know the eight is like yo something I can't. It's like yo, I gotta play these 8, yo. I gotta play
Right,
these
right,
8. You know what I'm
right.
saying, and
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that.
you know what I'm saying,
That's not off. That's not far fetched. I would
because
say
because
around there.
prayer. Because prayer really don't count as a song, so it's
Right,
technically
right.
eight out of
Do you
4. You know
feel
what I'm
like you
saying?
could have? Did you want more from this album? Did this album have you feeling like you wanted more tracks for this album?
Typically maybe like at least 3 more tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But if that's all he had and that's all he was willing to give, man, I'm cool
Mm-hmm.
with that, man.
You
You
think
know what I'm
it's
saying?
gonna
I'm
be
cool.
a deluxe on the way?
It could be some more music in the stash, but if it ain't X approved, I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? I
Right,
mean,
right.
of course we gonna get it, but you know what I'm saying? this is like, this is like Pac, like how Pac had Machiavelli, you know what I'm saying? It goes back to that. You feel me? Like it's tough when you got one of your your GOAT artists die. Like when you're not getting no more music that's coming directly from them. It's no new experiences, there's no new, feelings, there's no new life tribulations. It's just
Yeah, niggas move
it's the
on.
shit from the past that we
Yeah,
package it back up and push it. I know it's not organic, is what I'm
I got you.
saying.
I just had to ask that because some folks probably will have that, one, his die hard fans. I will say that, but
Mm,
overall, we gotta appreciate it and continue to play it over and over again. Um, and that's that. Like I said, I'm not mad on the rating. I give it that 4, Mike. I was gonna say 3.5, 4. It's around that range. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? We just getting started with X. That's the unfortunate part, but at least we got a project that again, we it got replay
very
value.
promising.
Yes,
Look,
yes,
very
man.
promising.
Salute to everyone involved that showed up, all the feature acts, the producers, A-Rad Music, man. Another producer that, deserves their
Yeah,
flowers for real.
he need to be.
Been
Yeah,
around
he
for a
need.
while.
I want to see
You
him and Alchemist do some shit for Griselda, man.
you know what I mean? Like it's a lot that happens under the umbrella of hip hop, and it's more than the shit that you see on TV every day. It's more than just the Illuminati conversations that exist on YouTube. You know what I mean? There's real artists out here who do this shit for the skill. You know what I mean? The art. They want to be better than the next man. This ain't got shit to do with streams and billboards. And X come from that era. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Hard body. He don't need a whole team of niggas with him. All he needed was one mic, a motherfucking
Yeah.
bogey, and a growl, and that nigga was good. Leave him, you know what I mean? His drink
Yeah,
and leave him the fuck alone. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
that energy, that alpha male energy that he embodied, that that spirit that he had, man, it's gonna
Yeah, it was
truly be
crazy.
missed, man, because they don't make him like that no more.
Nah.
You know what I mean? That conviction that like they don't in today's world where everything is under attack. Like shit, I don't know if a young X could exist in the world today.
Mm-mm.
I mean, you say it with some of these artists and how they rebel, but that was the beauty of X as the human being. Like he showed you that. Like, don't fuck with me. But if you,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, if I fuck with you and I love you, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna love you hard. So
Right.
it is what it is, man. But salute to the OG. Let the people know, what you got coming up soon, man. Tell them where they can find you at.
GemzTv A7, man. YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
man. You can check out the Instagram. Gems K the Dream A7, man. That's where I'm at. So you can find me. Got the
Yeah.
content coming. Check out right now. I got video. 6 of my favorite albums of all time. X
Okay.
is on there with It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Part 1 is
Mm.
out. Part 2 I'm still working on. And I gotta
Okay.
get the last 3 albums in because I did a 19 long. I go long with it when I get this hip hop shit. Well, this music shit in general. So yeah, just look out for that.
Hmm. Well, that's pretty much how we gonna leave it here tonight, man. I appreciate y'all for sticking with us on the late night. I just wanted to do a review and just give X his flowers, man, because we definitely do love him. I remember when the news came out that he passed, a lot of people thought it was a lot of fake love and fake energy out there. Like, nah, certain artists, we move on. It's a different era, a different world, but to get to hear him with these other artists, it was dope, man. Like I said, I appreciate the album. Shout out to everyone that was involved. Shout out to everyone that tuned in with us tonight. You want to support the channel, you always can hit the PayPal in the description. You know what I mean? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We got more content coming y'all way, man. I got more shit to talk about. So with that being said, man, my name is Sensei Rip. This is my good brother GemzTv, A7. Till next time. Peace.
Signing off. Peace.